Okay, the next story is called Hidden Enemy, a story that stars Quinlan Voss once again. He's on Kashyyyk, helping to lead the efforts there in that battle. He's teamed up with Jedi Master Unduli and a Wookiee Elder to free Wookiees enslaved by Trandoshan slavers, who are pretty much lizard people. They fight them. And then out of nowhere, comes out a crab droid, and they're having trouble with it. And then Billy comes to the rescue and destroys the droid. So Villamar Grok, a scoundrel or a bounty hunter or just a guy who's just looking out for money, pretty much, resembles a devil, and has been in previous tales with Voss and tales before in very early Republic comics. So he helps them destroy the droid. So Voss is seen very aggressive and unattached to the clones, and it's a good thing because later clones would be shooting and killing the Jedi shortly later. Just Voss thinks clones are just living weapons bred for war and nothing else. Yeah, I think the Republic commanders from the novel series would disagree. And Dooley questions Voss on why he hates clones so much, and says Voss should trust the clones more. Voss goes to Villy's ship to send a message to his lover, Kayleen, and just wants to check up on her. Later on, Yoda arrives to help in the battle. Yoda tells Voss that Grievous is on Utapau, and General Kenobi will meet him and kill him to end the war, and that will end the war. And this is concurrent to Episode 3, so this happens at the same time as Episode 3 is going on. And later in the battle, Yoda reports that Grievous is dead and the war should be over soon. The clones then get the word of Order 66 and kill Jedi Master Unduli. And then Voss then gets shot by a clone tank and is seen dead, but is actually severely injured. Yoda and Wookiees are battling it out with clones, and Yoda will eventually flee and leave the battle, as it would happen in Episode 3. Voss regains consciousness and finds out he was attacked by his own troops, clone troops. Voss can't do too much other than flee because he's severely injured. Clone Commander Faye, who had a huge grudge with Voss, begins the hunt for Voss. Voss is on a tree and talks to the holocron to tell his experience. He just feels the masses of Jedi dying everywhere, all across the planets and all across the galaxy, including his former apprentice Ayala Secura and his former master Thom. But in reality, Ayala Secura, she dies in Felucia in Episode 3. He feels anger growing within him and just wants to have vengeance on the clones, and he wants to use the light and dark side to do it. Then he hunts the clones who hunt him now. Villy finds out that the Jedi are being killed everywhere, so he tries to find Voss and help him because he considers him a sort of compatriot or a friend to Villy, because they've been in so many adventures together. Voss is trying to heal and walk at the same time to hunt the clones. He uses the Force to better understand the environment around him and kills one clone from Yoda's teaching. Then he has a vision of Count Dooku using the dark side. Well, from Yoda, he has a vision of Yoda's teaching, and then he kills a clone using his teaching. Then he has a vision of him battling Count Dooku, and Count Dooku using the dark side to control a giant beast. And Voss does the same thing, uses the dark side to control a giant snake, killing one clone, and he uses a lightsaber to kill another. It's cool seeing Voss use both the light and dark side, and maybe using that in later sagas, but I doubt it. He sees Ayala as a child and him teaching her. Voss then sees Mace Windu and both of them battling out. He has like different visions of his masters, and it's really cool seeing that. And Voss later kills one clone and is saved by Villy, who kills another. He then sees Thom giving him his lightsaber and asks forgiveness from his master. Voss then charges the clone commander who had a grudge with him, and it looks like both of them die. Villy then goes to burn a body and tells the clones that he killed his Jedi friend Voss, and burned him as a respect for the Jedi, for him mostly. Kayleen receives Voss's holocron and is saddened, and thinks Voss is dead. Then Voss comes out of nowhere and he's actually alive, and the lovers reunite. So Billy had a good plan. He burned the body of the clone commander and transported Voss to where Kayleen is. Kayleen is not the only one, because Thom is alive too, and with them, Kayleen shows Voss his child for the first time ever and tells him his name is Corto. Corto is the alias name that Voss used when he was undercover with the Confederacy and met Kayleen for the first time. This was like in Volume 1, Omnibus Volume 1. Thom then says there is no safe place with the rise of the Sith and the dark times have come, which sets up the Dark Times series, which needs multiple works because this is a 20-year period of hell for the galaxy, and as our empire rules with an iron fist and oppresses planets everywhere. Voss then says his son will be the light in the darkness, and the force will be strong in him, thus ending Voss's saga and the Clone Wars saga forever. The montage of having a child being there and as the hope to save the galaxy from darkness, pretty much an Episode 3 ripoff, and almost exactly like it, but it's a good way to end the Voss saga. Not so much for the Clone Wars. I mean, and for the Clone Wars you could say it too. Okay, now I got the summary out of the way for this whole omnibus. I will now talk about my opinion of the omnibus, what I liked and didn't like, and then give my rating at the end. The first part is Dreadnoughts of Rendili, which was cool seeing Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan together fighting against their rivals, Score and Asjet Ventress. It was awesome seeing Ventress ride a freaking Rancor and fight Obi-Wan at the same time. And it's also cool seeing Voss want forgiveness from the Jedi Council, so he gives himself up to receive the judgment. But he's still in league with Dooku at the same time. Ventress goes to Coruscant to end Obi-Wan's life, but finds Anakin talking to Padme, his lover. And this enrages Anakin, and he just goes down the dark side. And while Voss is talking to the Council and accepting their forgiveness, Anakin is using the dark side to take out Ventress. It was just a really cool scene. Voss tries to get back into the light. Anakin turns to the dark side and defeats Ventress by throwing her to the freaking abyss of Coruscant. The Council had no idea this was going on, and as their sole focus was Voss, and forgave him. It's really cool. It's always cool seeing Anakin use the dark side to hide his secrets by any means necessary. Next part is Obsession, which is my favorite part of the whole omnibus. A really cool, different take of material by Hayden Blackman, who did previous works like Battle of Jabim, so you know he's going to be a great writer. And I just wish he did more Star Wars works, but Obsession is his last work in Star Wars. It's just about Obi-Wan's obsession and finding out Asjet Ventress, and just finding Asjet Ventress. And Anakin just knows he's wrong because he killed him herself, and would try to make her dead by any means, because Ventress knows that Anakin and Padme are in love. And just Anakin is in odds with Obi-Wan and believes he's just freaking crazy. And just Dirge comes out of nowhere, and it's just an awesome battle to see. Dirge is just a freaking badass. And you get to see his face for the first time, and it was just like, it wasn't human at all. I mean, it's just like some crazy alien species that can regenerate and are pretty much invincible. So he decided to take break from the Clone Wars. I don't know. It's just from the battle with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan and Anakin later get a reunion with Alpha, but it's just a terrible reunion because he gets easily beaten by Grievous. He was a badass before in the Clone Wars, and I mean previous works in the Clone Wars, but it was just like he just turned into a freaking pussy at that point, and he just couldn't do anything. Session because you get to see all three of the Confederacy badasses: Dirge, then Ventress, then Grievous. Ventress is betrayed by Dooku, and Obi-Wan wanted to redeem Ventress to the light. And now just Ventress hates Dooku and the Jedi because she doesn't trust either, so she flees. So Obsession was a great work with great artwork by Brian Ching. Mace Windu owns Grievous every time, and it was just really cool seeing. Next part was completely pointless. Free Comic Book Day 2005 issue, and later on would be Free Comic Book Day 2006 issue, And these are the weakest links of the omnibus. I'm sorry, they just are. And just plain unnecessary to put in this omnibus. Both are forgettable and don't have an impact on the Star Wars universe at all. They feel like they put them there because they wanted to, and so just do yourself a favor and just skip them if you ever get to them. Next part is Trackdown, which sets up the Battle of Sulukami, focuses on Voss, Thome, and Ayala Secura. Thome then finds out that the Confederacy is training the Morgokai, and they're being used for clones, so they have to send a freaking army to destroy that the cloning facility. Because if it gets out, then it'll be trouble for the Republic. The next part picks up with the Battle of Sulukami. Jedi like Ashardheth and Krook join the battle. Krook is a badass, and he plays a key part and has a very interesting story in Dark Times. He's a key character in there. And then later on, Voss and Thome have a cool episode 3 montage where they both battle, and it's like there's like lava in the background too, and it just seems like Voss has gone for the dark side for good, but you later find out he's not. His obsession with finding the second Sith would be his undoing and would turn him to the dark side for good. But if it wasn't for his love interest in Kayleen, he would have never gone down to the dark side. So Secura defeats Bulk, no problem, and ending the Morgokai forever. Then Voss kills Bulk and conquers his dark side and himself as well. Hidden Enemy is the last story of the Omnibus, starring, you guessed it, Voss. The writers of these stories hyped up Voss way too much in these stories and didn't even focus on creating new characters or new storylines, and it's a little bit lazy on their part. Voss was an okay character, but not a great character, as the writers make it out to be. The final chapter of Voss was actually the most interesting of all the Voss storylines. So while Voss is fighting the battle in Kashyyyk, he's fired upon by his own clone troopers, severely injuring him, but not killing him. He's left in wonderment who did this, and the only option is the clone troopers. And he just senses Jedi dying like his apprentice, and he just wants to get revenge on them. So Voss remembers his teachings of Yoda, Count Dooku, Mace Windu, and Ayala Secura to help him overcome the clone troopers. So as a reader, you get a really good sense of what Voss uses from his past to defeat the clones. It's cool seeing Voss use the light side, then using the dark side another moment later to manipulate a giant snake to devour a freaking clone trooper. Appears in the end to his lover Kayleen and finds his baby child there. Thome later appears, and he just sets up the Dark Time series by saying, "There's no safe place now with the Sith ruling, and this has truly become a dark time." Voss' story ends and never seen again, and a good ending for Voss, and hopefully we never see him again, because he's pretty much in every Star Wars comic. And the last pages end with, ironically, the Dark Times comics buy list, and on the back of the book is the Dark Times are coming. So yeah, it's just a good setup for Dark Times. I hopefully they have an omnibus soon, and just show like the other 2 Republic comics too. So just in my opinion, a great omnibus, worth the price of $25 or even cheaper online if you find it. And they could have set up the Dark Times a lot better by getting rid of these free comic book day issues, lazy on their part, and adding the 2 missing Republic issues, which are the last issues of the Republic series, and they didn't end it with the Clone Wars. They actually ended up these last 2 Republic issues. They set up the Dark Times perfectly. It just shows Order 66 happen and killing the Jedi all across the galaxy, and it focuses on Jedi's hardships, on trying to survive and just become ordinary people and live in a society that now hates them, and sets up a cool Jedi character in Dash Jenner, and you'll see him in the Dark Times comics. He's a really cool character, and he teams up with a new band of characters, and they're really interesting, characters. I definitely recommend you read it. I'm just thinking they could have added those issues in the beginning of a Dark Times omnibus in the future. Those Republic issues that I mentioned before. It probably makes a bit more sense. And overall, the storylines were strong in the omnibus, with Obsession stealing the show and a good ending for Voss. So my rating for this overall omnibus has to be a 4.5 out of 5. Definitely a massive improvement from the volume 2 of the Clone Wars, and definitely has a cool battle shown, but not as massive or great as is showed in Jabim, but still very good. The artwork is fantastic in every page, and a couple of cool episode 3 references in the boss saga, like exactly straight from it, episode 3. So a good conclusion to the Clone Wars. Not the best in my opinion. I think they could have used those other 2 issues. And a good setup to the dark times, and a must read for Clone Wars and Star Wars fans. I recommend you buy all 3 of these omnibus books, as they show the Clone Wars as it should be shown, bloody and violent, and there are heroes on both sides of the war. Cool takes of new characters, of both sides of the war. Not every side is good. I mean, the Confederacy is not all evil. There are some good on both sides. They're good and bad on both sides. And Volume 1 had a good focus on the characters and had some cool battle sequences. And Volume 2, lacking in characters, but it had a great battle scene. And Volume 3 had a combination of the 3. It had a good amount of characters, cool battle scenes, and just a good ending to the Clone Wars. So if you've read this omnibus or other Clone Wars omnibus, tell me what you think. Do you like them or hate them? What did you like out of them or not like in them? So please tell me how I did on this review. I really tried and worked hard on creating this video for you guys, entertainment, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So please like, comment, and please subscribe to my channel, Django Fett. And I'll see you guys on my next review. Should be Tales of the Jedi, and if it's not that, then I'll try to do Knights of the Old Republic omnibus, which is coming out soon, and I'll try to do a review for that soon. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.